Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, July 25th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, hanging out with my compañeros this morning. I got my guy Damien Serrano, and I got the lovely Grace Monroe. And all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Folks, how are we doing this morning?
Is that really a question? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. Humidity's not as bad. I'm not melting this morning. Asked me that question last night. It'd be something different. So
I have to come here to Yankees Anonymous, where I have to make a confession. I watched every single inning of every single game, including spring training last year, which we all know was a dirge, okay? And I have watched every inning of this year, including spring training. I have watched every single thing. But here among my friends at Yankees Anonymous, I have to tell you, I turned off the game in the 8th inning. And it's the first time I've done that in years because I was disgusted. And I had to walk away from my mental health. Okay?
Yeah.
And my marriage.
No.
And the sake of my marriage.
Listen, to all you Yankee fans out there that like to be braggadocious and speak from your chest, right now is the time for you to be quiet, right? I don't want to hear about how this is the Mets World Series. I don't want to hear about the 27 championships. I don't want to hear about none of that. I live in today. I live in the right now. And in the right now, the New York Mets, they have dog walked the New York Yankees this season, right? We were supposed to be the big, bad Bronx Bombers. And what happened? We allow our little cousins, our stepchilds, the New York Mets, to walk into Yankee Stadium and totally own us over the past couple of days. Not only the team, but the fans, the New York Mets fans, they showed up and they let you know how loud they were, especially after last night's loss. The first game, and there was a lot of fights going on. Shout out to the people that was in the 300 sections, the people from Fight Club. I was calling that Fight Club in the Bronx. And that's what it was over the past couple of days. But no, if you're a Met fan, walk around the city cocky, right? Walk with your head held up high. And if you're a Yankee fan right now, you got to be sweating underneath your armpits. You got to be nervous right now, right? You got to be really quiet because the New York Mets, they came into our stadium and they embarrassed us. And as a Yankee fan, I can say that. And I see a lot of Yankee fans who are on Twitter, Yankee fans who are on social media, posting just random stuff about, the good old days and the championship. These past 48 to 72 hours showed me that there's a big part of the Yankees fandom and a big part of the Yankee community who are just coattail bandwagon fans. These are you guys are showing me that you guys are fans only when the Yankees are winning. You guys are only fans when the Yankees have championships. You guys are only fans when the Yankees are the number one team in the AL East. Guess what? The New York Mets, most likely their fan base are Jet fans. Their fan base are Knicks fans. And you know what that means? They root for a team that haven't shown them anything for years. And as Yankee fans, I've spoken to a lot of Yankee fans online in person as well. And a lot of us are Yankee fans, but their favorite team on the basketball side is the Lakers, or their favorite team on the football side are the Patriots. And that goes to show me that you are only fans of teams that win. You only care about winning. That's the only time you're a fan. When the team is losing, you're quiet. When the team is having a bad time, you're bashing the team and you're talking bad about the team. We could be objective about the organization, about the front office, and about the coaching staff. But if you're here saying, I will never watch a Yankee game ever again, you're just lying. Stop lying. You're lying to yourself. You know you still have the Yes app on your phone. You know you still follow the Yankees on Twitter. Stop saying you're going to stop watching games because the team is how it is right now. Be a fan. And if you're a fan, be upset. You should be upset. But at the same time, you got to take your hat off and you got to tip it to the New York Mets and their fan base. They've gone through garbage over the past 30 years. They've gone through hell ever since 1986, and their fans are still. Do you think you see any of the Met fans saying, "Oh, I'm gonna not watch SNY anymore because the team they've been horrible for the past 30 years. Had a few good seasons here or there, but they're still there. They're still loyalists. And to see Yankee fans on Twitter saying that they'll never watch this team ever again because we've lost 2 games to the New York Mets. Are you actually fans of the team, or you just want to be there to hang out when the team is doing good? I'm sorry for the long-winded opening.
Oh,
I just had to get that off my chest.
You're cooking. You're cooking.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'm sorry I didn't watch the 9th inning, Hector. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
No, but we call them T-shirt fans. Down here in Texas, we call that a T-shirt fan. You got the T-shirt, but you don't know the team. You don't know what's going on. You don't really care. You just have a cool T-shirt on. Well, congratulations for your cool T-shirt, you know. I'll see people wearing Yankees stuff maybe sometimes in Texas, which is rare. But if I do see them, I usually say something like, "Hey, go Yankees" or something. They'll look at me like, "What? Oh, I have a Yankees hat on." I'm like, "Oh, never mind." Never mind. You know, but yeah, there's a lot of those people out there. That goes for any team, any walk of life, you know. And when you have so many fans like the Yankees have, you're bound to have a lot of casuals, a lot of people who, again, just want the cool hat or the cool T-shirt or whatever. But, you know, to the fans, but that's not who we're talking to here on Morning Brew Sports.
Yeah. No,
the people here in our chat, the people here who tune into our show every day, we're the real ones, okay? We're the ones who were watching all of 2023. We're the ones who are, besides being so bewildered that JD Davis is hitting cleanup, we want him to get a hit. We want Jahmai Jones to suddenly turn on and become the best leadoff hitter in the league. We are still there cheering. We are delusional, but hey, we're here. We're a family. Let's get through this together. Let's talk about it.
We are Delulu. My guy Anthony Medina said, "I watched the whole game yesterday because I am masochist." Absolutely, Medina. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, so everybody knows I'm a real fan. Lord have mercy, I've been through the 90s, the Steve Barboni days, the Mel Hall days, the terrible days, and I've been through the greatest days, the dynasty days, and I'm going through what we're going through now, right? So I'm going to be real right now, and I'm going to stand myself corrected. You know, earlier this whole season, we've been talking about, you know, Soto. Will Soto ever jump to the Queens? Things like that. I said, no way, no how. And then yesterday, I'm looking at both teams, lineup-wise. And I tell myself the Mets are probably 2 to 3 players away from being a legit World Series contender. You add Juan Soto to that team, you add another starter to that team, and you add 1 or 2 bullpen pieces in the offseason, listen, Yankee fans, we better wake up because Soto possibly could jump that ship because we all know Steve Cohen's going to throw the dollars. And the only way that's ever going to change is if the Yankees wake the hell up. Steinbrenner wakes up and gets the right people in place. Cashman is not, he can do whatever he wants, but he can't, it's impossible to fix the mess that he created. And part of that is on Steinbrenner as well. You created this mess by allowing somebody to sit at that position for as long as you did, and it spiraled. So if I'm the Yankees right here, right now, you do 3 things to try to save not only the season, but to save the mind of Soto saying, do I jump ship because I want to win? And that's the only thing I care about. Now, money obviously plays a part, but you're talking about Steve Cohen. Money's going to be there. Steinbrenner, money's going to be there. So when it comes to the bottom line, you have one thing and one thing only. Who am I going to win with? So I do something right now, right here. No way in order, right? Number 1, Jason Dominguez, words out, he's starting AAA next week, back in games. 2 weeks, Jason Dominguez should be up, absolutely no doubt, should be playing in pinstripes in the Bronx, 2 weeks, no less than that, right? Number 2, crazy as I was going to sound, you trade Alex Verdugo to make that room for Jason Dominguez. Get something back for him. Not because Doogie's terrible, not for any of that reason, but you put the best players in forward, we put the best players in the game, Dominguez is a better player. Number 3, you make the trades that you need to make. And last but not least, You fire Boone right here, right now. Not only, and I say that because, you know, part of the problem is obviously is roster construction. Part of the problem as well is you got an incompetent manager who thought it would be smart to put J.D. Davis behind Aaron Judge so he can get walked 4 times. And you got a manager who thought it was smart to say, let me put Jahmai Jones at leadoff. And what blew my mind the most is he was on Talking Yanks. They asked him about the lineup. He made it a big secret, but he had the audacity to say, with a grin on his face, buckle up. In regards to the lineup, buckle up, like it's going to be something different, and it's going to be something magical, and something that's going to make a difference. And then next thing you know, a couple hours, you saw that lineup. That's incompetence at the highest degree, and it can no longer go on. It can no longer go on.
Damien, I love you.
Go ahead, Grace.
I was just gonna say the buckle up comment. I noticed that too, Damien, and I have a different theory. It's still egregious, but I almost want to believe. Maybe this is me, wanting to believe this, but I almost want to believe that Aaron Boone sent that lineup out to troll the front office. Like, this is what y'all gave me to work with. Here you go. Here's the lineup. What do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do? I almost feel like he did that. I don't know if that's just me wanting to believe that or if that is the case. Either way, it's a problem because you don't have games to give up to make a statement to the front office. You got to win games, period. However, if whatever's going on behind the scenes has inspired Aaron Boone to say, all right, all right, screw it. This is going to be the lineup then. This is what y'all gave me to work with. You're not going to go get me any players? Jahmai Jones is leading off today. How do you like them apples? Yeah. J.D. Davis is fixing to clean up behind Aaron Judge, one of the best hitters ever to play Major League Baseball. And this is who y'all gave me. So here you go. I'll let you see it. I'll let you see what you gave me. I want to believe that that's what happened. Regardless, J.D. Davis batting behind Aaron Judge was absolutely punishment for the fans, for us, everybody here in the chat, everybody here who loves the team, who has still been hanging on and wants to believe. It was a punishment for us to watch that.
I just want to say credit to Carlos Mendoza, right? Credit to Mendy, because he knows, being a part of Aaron Boone's staff, how the Yankees operate. And coming out of the All-Star break, he set up his starting staff to have his 2 lefties to go up against the Yankees, because he knows the Yankees can't hit left-handed pitching. He knows that the Yankees are going to lean into the analytics, and the analytics show you that for some reason J.D. Davis is a better hitter against left-handed pitching than anybody else we have on this roster. So for some reason, that's what the analytics believe. For some reason, that's how the lineup came out, and Mendy knew that, right? So shout out to Carlos Mendoza. Shout out to the Met fans, because you guys have a manager that he understands the incompetency that's going on over here. And when you look at the lineups over the past couple of days, there's no other word that you can use but just incompetency. And you brought something up, Damien, talking about Juan Soto. I want to get to that, but before I do, I want to shout out the chat. We got one of the best chats on YouTube at the moment. So let me shout out everybody who was in the building. My guy, Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la isla. Anthony, my guy, I see you. Patrick Sinclair is in the building. Pat, hope all is well. Haven't seen you in a minute. Thanks for being in the chat. Spinning Mantis is in the building. My guy, Nosebleed Section, is in the building. Spinning Mantis said, as soon as the Phillies fired Girardi, they became a perennial playoff team. Say that again for the people in the back. Shout out to my guy On Dios NYK, who is in the building. My brother, mi hermano de la isla. And of course, my guy Ghost. And we be doing a Yankees pregame today. We're going to do a Yankees pregame and a postgame today. That will be later on today. It's going to be myself, Damien, Ghost, and of course, Chris, and whoever else wants to join us. Make sure you guys tune in. Shout out to my guy, Ghost, who is in the building. Of course, my guy, Anthony Rivera, the Subway to Shade podcast, and of course, one of the hosts from the Mets Evening Brew. Make sure you guys tune in later on tonight. All you Yankee fans, Mets Evening Brew will be on later on tonight with Evan Roberts from WFAN. Make sure you guys go in the chat so you can talk all your ish to the Met fans that are in the building. Even though we lost, make your presence felt. But talking about Juan Soto, we got to bring it up and have this conversation, right? The 7 Line on Twitter, they brought it up. They put it there. They said the next time the Mets meet the Yankees in the regular season, it will be Friday, May 16th, 2025 at Yankee Stadium. And Juan Soto will be wearing the orange and blue. Now, if I would have read that tweet before the month of June started, I would have said that fan right there, he's delusional. He's delulu for thinking that Juan Soto is going to be with the Mets next year. But ever since June and until now, July 25th, so we could just say over the past 2 months, and especially after the past 48 hours, I've never felt more threatened than I do right now by the New York Mets.
Absolutely.
Right? If you guys don't think Juan Soto was paying attention to the OMGs going around and the Met fans in Yankee Stadium, Met fans, they understood this assignment. And the assignment is we go to Yankee Stadium and we make our presence felt. And Met fans, they made their presence felt. My mom has been calling me ever since yesterday, and I've been ignoring her. And she's been calling me this morning, and I'm still ignoring my mom. She may be watching me on Facebook. I probably will call my mom next week. That's how much time I'm gonna need before I have a conversation with her. But as a Yankee fan, and to you Yankee fans out there, if you guys don't think that the Steve Cohen Make It Happen Mets, the OMG Mets, Jose Iglesias can get Juan Soto, you are out your mind. When you look at that lineup that the New York Mets have, you remove Juan Soto, Aaron Judge from our lineup, the New York Mets, every other hitter walking us is way better than anyone else we have on this lineup. Anyone else we have on this line. Francisco, you remove, and this is a shame, Francisco Lindor should have been in the All-Star game. That's one thing I want to say. He should have been in the All-Star game.
No doubt.
But if you remove that first month of the season that Francisco Lindor had, Francisco Lindor will be running away with the MVP right now.
Agreed.
Francisco, look at his numbers. Remove that first month of the season. Francisco Lindor should be in considerations for MVP. You take Francisco Lindor away from this team. Ever since they moved him into the leadoff spot, this team is a totally different team. This team is not built around Pete Alonso. This team is not built around Jeff McNeil. This team is built around Francisco Lindor. And Francisco Lindor is the table setter for this offense, and he makes this team go. I know this is a Yankee show, but you got to be able to be objective and call it down the middle and give credit where credit is due. And as a Yankee fan, I feel so threatened by Steve Cohen in the New York Mets. Yes, the pinstripes are beautiful. Yes, our history, 27 championships, all these old heads who died and passed away are retired in Monument Park. Yeah, that's all cute. That's all dandy. What's going on right now? And what's going on right now is that the New York Mets and their fan base, they have the pulse of the city at the moment. Not the New York Yankees, the New York Mets. I hate to even say that.
It's a fact. Go ahead,
and
Grace.
Lindor's beautiful family. I loved it every time he would go over and give his little daughter a little high five and his beautiful wife. And
it's so cute. I hate it.
I know, he's a good guy. It's adorable. He's a great guy with a beautiful family. Gosh dang it. Yeah. No, I'm happy for Lindor. I know he's had some struggles and whatever, but you're right. I definitely see the vibe in Juan Soto changing, and it's not just been in this series against the Mets. It's been for the last couple weeks, and we are in danger of losing Juan Soto. We are in danger of showing him who we are. and that's the risk. We thought that was going to be a plus. We thought that was going to be what would persuade him to stay. We're going to show him who we are. We're going to show him. Well, too bad we are showing him who we are, unfortunately. Yeah. And we are showing him that you're going to be on a team like Judge where you have nobody around you. You got no chance because they're just going to walk you every time you're up to bat or whatever. And we're not going to do anything to make it better. We're going to keep putting DJ LeMahieu out there every day. We're going to keep putting Gleyber Torres out there. We're going to keep, having Verdugo out there. We're not going to make any moves. And good luck. We have the best workout room in the major leagues. So please stay for our workout room or for our break room or for our, Tampa facility. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, we got some of that. That's all nice, Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it. Yeah, I don't. It's embarrassing at the
Alex
moment. Go ahead,
Verdugo
Dane.
has the lowest WRC plus of any Yankees left fielder since 2020. That includes Joey Gallo. That includes Frazier. That includes Aaron Hicks. That includes the end of Brett Gardner's career where he was struggling. He has the lowest WRC plus. And the only reason he's not getting booed every time he's at the plate is because there's so many other people that they need to boo. They can't just boo all the time. A. And B, the Yankees fans aren't stupid. We remember what he did for our team at the beginning of this year. Yeah. And the dog and the energy and all the stuff he did for us. So we don't just turn on people like that, okay? We're not heartless. We're smart we're smart baseball fans who care about winning and care about the team, okay? So that's why he's not getting booed relentlessly like Joey Gallo was and Aaron Hicks was and all this stuff. But his numbers are abysmal, y'all. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I said, how am I going to say goodbye to Alex Verdugo? How am I going to, like this? Bye.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Thank you. Goodbye. Because I agree with Damien. When Jason Dominguez is ready, you get him up right then. Okay? Couple games in AAA, and he should be up here. No questions asked. No questions asked. I don't care. And the best players should be playing. Period. I don't care about the money. Like, this is crazy. And if we don't have Juan Soto going forward, what are we doing?
And it's just like Ra said it right here. I'm gonna throw it over to you, David. I just want to be what Ra said. Ra said, and if you were Soto, I don't think you want to be at this mess. The Yankees ain't gonna win in a while. They got to change everybody from the top of the organization to the bottom. And that's why I've been saying for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, we want to see Boone and be fiery and be more animated and hold folks accountable. And we want to see Aaron Judge get in the face of other players and get them to wake up. Even if Aaron Boone was to do that, even if Aaron Judge was to get into DJ LeMahieu's face and shake him up, that's not going to solve the fact that DJ LeMahieu is washed right now, right? There's no amount of motivation that's going to turn DJ LeMahieu back to the player that he was in 2020. And the same thing goes for Gleyber Torres. And the same thing goes for Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo right now, he is having his worst year of his career. He can't even buy a hit. When you thought he was going to have a hit yesterday, Tyrone, whatever his name is, Taylor. Yeah. Taylor. He was like, oh, nope, not on my watch, and literally robbed him of a single.
It was a 5% probability to him to catch
that. Of him catching that, bro. Go ahead, Dame. My fault.
Oh my God, man. Listen, you bring up Dominguez, and then you got your leadoff hitter, right? Or you trade for a leadoff hitter like Rengifo, who now came off the IL as of yesterday. You bring in Rengifo, leadoff. Bring in Dominguez, he's gonna hit right behind Judge. Then you bring in Stanton, he hits right behind Dominguez. Now all of a sudden you got a formidable lineup. Now all of a sudden you keep Torres. You don't trade him. You put Torres at the bottom of the order, 7th, 6th, 7th, wherever you want to put him. Now you have an actual lineup. You have Torres, you have Dominguez in the lineup, you have obviously Soto, Judge, you got Big G back. Now you have a top 6 that can run with anybody, right? You throw Volpe in 7th. Now you're stretching that out even more. But the Yankees got to do it. Like, at this point, you trade Jones, right? Yeah. Because if you want to show Soto, again, you had him for 1 season. And granted, at the beginning, up until, like you said, 2 months ago, we all laughed at the fact that he was going to go anywhere because the Yankees were doing so well. They fell apart. And then you look at the 2 teams yesterday, the Yankees have 4 players with an OPS plus of over 100.
Come on.
The Mets have 8. And one of the 4 players on the Yankees is on the IL right now. And that's been for over a month. So if you're Soto, you look at both lineups and you're like, well, I fit written right here. And now we have 9 and they're hitting at over 100 OPS plus. So now they're literally, like I said, they're a couple players away from being a World Series contender. And they're about to get their ace back, Kodai Senga. You go in the offseason, right? And you pick up a Max Fried or whoever it is. It don't matter who it is. There's arms out there in the offseason. Now the Mets are legit World Series contenders, and the Yankees are still doing what they're doing.
With a farm system that's coming up right behind them. With a farm system also.
Yeah.
The New York Mets, shout out to that front office. Shout out to David Stern. He's been able to flip his finger like that and turn this team around. When it comes to their farm system, they had no farm system last year. He had to trade away Scherzer. He had to trade away Verlander. They had their analytic and development department had to kick it into a new gear. And now the Mets, they look like their future is way better than the New York Yankees right now. And I get it. We're living in the world of recency, right? And we got recency bias because the Yankees have been dog shit ever since the month of June. Sorry to curse, but it's just the reality. I actually have a video. Somebody sent it to me of HAL Steinbrenner. Guys, I'm gonna play this right now. This is a video from HAL Steinbrenner. What's he doing at the moment? Let's talk about this. Because this is the question I have to ask. Is this not embarrassing? When will it be embarrassing from the front office? When are people going to feel embarrassed? Because the product that we're seeing on the field, and I pointed it out, ever since June 13th, we're tied with the Chicago White Sox for the worst record in all of Major League Baseball. And on the flip side of that, ever since the beginning of June, the New York Mets are tied for the best record in Major League Baseball. Since the month of June, the New York Mets, they have the #1 offense in Major League Baseball. We couldn't even hit Jake Diekman, right? And I don't want to be too harsh on Judge. I don't want to be too harsh on Garrett Cole, but these are the moments where our big-time guys need to step up. Aaron Judge, I know they're walking you. I know they're not giving you anything to hit, but you got Jake Diekman in there whose ERA is over 5, and you struck out looking down the middle. If we rip Carlos Beltran for not swinging at a miss and striking out looking in the postseason, we definitely have to be critical of Aaron Judge right now.
1,000%.
Aaron Judge against the New York Mets, and yes, they're not pitching to you. Yes, everybody else is hitting into double plays, but that was the moment for you to take the game and for us to run it away. With all the nonsense that we have to go through, with our offense being inept, not being able to score, we were still in the game. Judge still could have won the game for us, even with everything else that's going on. Verdugo can't even lay down a bunt. We can't even hit with runners in scoring position. We can't buy a hit with runners in scoring position. With all of that, we were still in the game on Tuesday night, and Aaron Judge struck out looking against the New York Mets. And then when you pivot over to Daddy Cole, Garrett Cole, I don't mean to be giving the smoke to Garrett Cole, but when you need your ace to go out there and shut down the opposing team for 6 innings, that's when you need Garrett Cole to go out there and be Garrett Cole. And he got shelled by the New York Mets. You look at the starts that Garrett Cole have this season. Against the New York Mets, he's given up 6 home runs. Against everybody else, he's only allowed 2 home runs. That is when we need Garrett Cole to be Garrett Cole, the Cy Young winner from last year. And he didn't show up. So as much as I want to blame Jahmai Jones and J.D. Davis and the lineup construction, we needed our big guys to step up. And for these 2 games, our big guys didn't step up. Juan Soto, credit to Juan Soto. He was trying to keep us in there. He did try to get us in there. Gleyber Torres had a couple of home runs. I still want to see you gone. Bye-bye. Adios, mi amigo. But you got to be able to be critical and down the middle. And I'm being critical with Judge and Cole. Sorry about that.
No, there's no apologies. No apologies needed. They need that because, listen, Judge, it was drawn up exactly the way we all thought, right? Soto on base, Judge coming up, Jake Diekman, a left-hand pitcher, and the first pitch he saw was 98 down the middle.
6, it was 7. My fault, Dan. Go ahead. 7 home runs. Thank you, Medina.
Right down the middle, right? He looks at 98 down the middle, and again, he choked. Yesterday, Judge, again, in a situation to do some damage. What's he do? He takes a pitch too close, strike 3. Listen, I get the team is I get the team is what it is, and I can only imagine the frustration for Judge being in the situation he's in, being the captain of the team, knowing all eyes are on you, knowing the blame is going to be on you, not only Boone, but you too. The smoke is going to come to you, but that's when you got to step up. That's when you got to be a captain and show everybody around you, listen, when the times are the worst, you have to step up, and you got to lead by example. He didn't do that in these last 2 games. So yeah, he deserves criticism. Everyone deserves criticism if it's granted, if it's warranted, and it's warranted. Garrett Cole, what are you doing? I mean, you kept throwing a cutter that was getting demolished, and you kept throwing it. Obviously, you didn't have a feel for it. You abandoned the 4-seamer. You threw it in counts that you were basically a get me over fastball. That's the only time you saw it. And mind you, they didn't fare well against the 4-seamer. What knuckle curve? What happened to the knuckle curve? It was your number 1 pitch to start before. Where'd it go? Gone. Nowhere to be found. And then you look at Boone's post game, and Boone, again, says it again. It's right there in front of us. He said it again. And what is it? What is there in front of us, Boone? Help me understand what is there in front of us. Nothing. There's nothing in front of us. And when they brought it to his attention that the Yankees have been the worst team in the league next to the White Sox, I can only laugh at the way he reacted to it, because he tried the tough guy thing and stuff. He didn't bang on the table this time, and it's disheartening, because you got a team that is clearly flawed. I said it before, I say it again. It wasn't going to be fixed in 1 year, but whether it was going to be fixed in 1 year or not, that doesn't mean that we go on runs like this. That doesn't mean that there's no more fight. That doesn't mean that these guys don't come out motivated. Boone consistently says we'll go out there, we compete. If that's the best that you have when you compete at 100%, then Cashman, the fault is on you, because no matter how hard they compete, the team is not good enough. The team doesn't have but 2 superstars. And yet, the seats are filled at 40,000 plus every night. HAL STEINBRENNER is dumping over $300 million this year. And Soto will not come back. And it was all for nothing, because you let go of what you let go of. The Mike Kings, Kyle Higashioka. Oh my God, Kyle Higashioka is all of a sudden the home run stroker in San Diego. You let go of Drew Thorpe, a future pitcher who, mind you, is pitching well in Chicago. You let go of so much for 1 season of Soto for an all-in season, and again, nothing was all in. Mind you, trade deadline's coming. We don't know how all in they are. We're about to find out. But if they don't make any significant moves, then you might as well just call it a wrap, and let's get ready for next season.
I just want to highlight something real quick. Again, we have over 105 people in the building rocking out with us. If you guys are watching on X, if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube. We are on our way to 5K subs. Hit that subscribe button, help us get us over there. My guy Anthony Rivera said, Judge said on that first pitch, he wanted to see if Diekman would throw another ball since he threw 4 straight to Soto. What kind of mindset is that when you have a chance to win with just 1 swing of the bat? Absolutely. Go ahead, Grace.
There's people that we need them to walk, and there's people that we need them to hit. And Aaron Judge is not a person we need to walk, because there is nobody behind him to drive him in. I mean, Wells kind of, but Wells wasn't behind him the first game. I mean, oh God, where do I start? And and furthermore, I want to make a point real quick, because I saw people on Twitter. Now, that's how every, argument starts. I saw people on Twitter. Well, I saw people on Twitter saying, hi, Tina, that Ben Rice is this and Ben Rice is that, and send Ben Rice back down and blah, 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 blah. And I'm here to tell y'all right now, lay off of Ben Rice, okay? This kid is doing all that he can and more than ever should have been asked of him, considering the fact that we're in July. Last month in June, this kid, sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. This young man was in double A, not triple A, double A.
Say it again.
He caught Garrett Cole. He gets promoted to triple A. 1 week later, he's up at the Major League Baseball level. He's down in the lineup. Then he's up in the lineup. Then he's playing, cleanup. Then he's batting leadoff. Then he's back to cleanup. Then he's playing first base. Then he's benched. Then he's playing first base again. Now he's pinch hitting. We are watching this kid try to navigate what we have seen so many times before with Florial, with Andujar, with all these people who they call up and they play them and they don't play them. They don't get, we are watching him go through that exact situation again. And yet still this guy is working long counts. Yeah, he lays off some strikes when he should swing. Of course, he's adjusting. The league has adjusted to him. He's learning how to readjust for the first time in his career. He still works into counts better than most of the people in the lineup. He's seeing the ball to a certain extent. He is learning on the job and trying to figure it out. Give him a break. He is not the problem.
Not only that, but the Yankees shouldn't be relying on a rookie.
Exactly, Damien.
I was just about to say.
It's like what happened with Volpe. Volpe was asked to carry the team when Aaron Judge was out last year. Volpe was expected to carry the team as a rookie, and we're watching the same thing happen to Ben Rice in a different font, okay? In a different font, because Aaron Judge is still there. No disrespect to the captain. But we're watching him get blamed for things that are not on him. And I have to say my piece about it today. I had to defend Ben Rice. Not from y'all, but...
No, 100%, because I don't blame Ben Rice. He's a rookie, right? This is a microcosm that has more to do with the front office than what it does with Ben Rice. But when you look at it, Gleyber Torres had 2 hits, but Gleyber Torres he's still hitting 232, right? His on base percentage is just 308, right? So copy, that's something to write home about. But then when you keep going down, as good as Austin Wells been for the past few games, for the past 10 games, Austin Wells is still hitting 225. Anthony Volpe is hitting 251. Alex Verdugo is hitting 228. J.D. Davis is hitting 218. DJ LeMahieu 179. Jahmai Jones 238. Oswaldo Cabrera is hitting 242. Our offense is disgusting. And we have so many holes, but it's going to come down. We have 6 days before the trade deadline, and let's get into that conversation. Yes, I know, JJ. You told us you was coming back. Yes, JJ. Shout out to my guy JJ in the building. The Young King. How you doing? Ronnie Green with the $10 super chat. Ronnie Green says, so sick of this ish. There is no quick fix. I was a glass half full kind of guy, but I'm dying of thirst. Rodney, drink some water. Make sure you get some water. Stay hydrated. I don't want you dying of thirst on me, my guy.
Thanks.
But let's have this conversation about the trades, because what the Yankees really need, we need two infielders. We need one guy who could be a leadoff guy, and then we need another guy who could protect Aaron Judge. I was in the mindset that Ryan McMahon is not a possibility, right? And maybe the Colorado Rockies aren't going to try to trade Ryan McMahon. Bump that. If I'm the New York Yankees, Ryan McMahon is the only impact player on a team that is clearly out of it. When you look at the worst 5 teams in all of Major League Baseball, the Colorado Rockies are right there, and Ryan McMahon is the best bat to get. Now, if you're the Rockies, are you trying to trade McMahon? I'm not too sure. But if you're the Yankees, you have to call and you have to inquire about trading for Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon, he has an on-base percentage of about 360, 380. That would be an automatic upgrade, be the third best on-base percentage in this lineup off rip, right? Secondly, we need a leadoff guy. Now, I know a lot of fans aren't happy about Jazz Chisholm. I know the Yankees, they have some questions about his chemistry and the makeup. Is he a problem in the clubhouse? I'm going to just say one thing. Jazz Chisholm, he's a different type of player than what we're normally used to seeing. We're normally used to seeing baseball players with no personality, right? Act like you've been there before, right? Hold yourself and be professional. And Jazz Chisholm is the total opposite of that. Alex Verdugo also was a total opposite of that. And you see what happened to Alex Verdugo after the Yankees told him to quiet it down when it comes to his personality. So would I like to see Jazz Chisholm here? Absolutely. His speed is dynamic. The way he plays his game is dynamic. I just think the Yankees would try to neuter him when he gets over here. So I'm going to put Jazz Chisholm to the side. If it's not Jazz Chisholm, the only other team that is on the bottom that literally ain't no way coming out of it is the Cincinnati Reds. And they have a second baseman by the name of Jonathan India, who could be your leadoff guy, who has an on-base percentage over 340. All we need is somebody who can lead off with an on-base percentage of 340 in front of Judge and in front of Soto. We cannot have people leading off in front of our two guys whose on-base percentage is below 300. You're not going to win many games like that. You're not going to win any games like that if that's the case. So we need someone who could get on base to set it for Judge and Soto, and then someone who could protect Judge in the lineup. McMahon would protect Judge. You could put him at third base. Jonathan India would be the table setter, and you put him at second base.
The one thing the Yankees have to do, and it's something that's all the way back in the 70s, is just get rid of the hair policy. All right, because we name somebody like Jonathan India, right? Jonathan India comes here, right? He's got to cut his long hair. How's that going to make that kid feel? We were thinking about Luis Castillo, right? Castillo was freaking out. He got traded because he had to cut his dreads off, right?
Yeah,
he got to cut his locks. There's so many players, and people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter." What's it? It matters nowadays. Being yourself, letting people express themselves to who they are, it matters. So when you get players like an Alex Verdugo, is it a wonder that he's having his worst season as a professional baseball player, that he came to the Yankees and he can't be himself completely? The Yankees got to step out of the Stone Age. If this was the 80s, this is the 90s, maybe you can get away with it. But it matters to players. If you ask 100 out of 100 players off the record, if it mattered to them, if they had to come and just change everything about themselves and who they are, 100 out of 100 people are going to say, absolutely, it matters to me. And people say dollars, money talks. But when you're talking about a game that pays you millions of dollars and other teams also have millions of dollars to give, then what difference are the Yankees at that point? Because there's millions of dollars to give away from any other team. So the Yankees have to get away from this. Are they ever? I don't know. I pray they do. For some people, maybe it doesn't matter. But when you're talking about people who, like a Jonathan India, like you said, if you make this kid come here and you make him cut his hair, how's he going to feel about that? You got so many different players in the world, in the major leagues, that have come here and can't be themselves. Or they're completely shellacked by New York, like a Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo couldn't be himself in New York because he had nervous twitches and he had, some mental health issues. He couldn't be himself. And, was he ever going to really fit in New York? Probably not. But these are examples of players that come here and cannot be themselves. They probably feel a little awkward, and the Yankees make them awkward. So something's got to change there, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if HAL is ever going to change it. I pray he does, because, listen, man, we're in 2024. Let people be who they are. I get it. You don't want Brandon Marshalls of the world on the team who look like total cavemans, right? But if I had a Hector on my team, I'd be like, Hector, fine, keep that breed. It's groomed. It looks great. You know what I mean? Be yourself. You want to wear 3 chains? Go ahead. Be yourself. What does it matter? As long as you're hitting the ball, you're scoring runs, and you're helping us win games. And the Yankees are just it's become lame, it's become old, it's become dry, and people don't think it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. It really is.
Yeah. And I get it. There's some Yankee fans that they want to keep the facial policy, and they don't want to keep the facial policy. And it's a conversation that people can have for hours and hours and hours. I just look at it like this. As a fan, regardless if my face is shaved or not, if I have a beard that's kept, if I have a beard that's shaped up, if I have a beard that's out of pocket and just untangled, if I have all of that, the Yankees are still going to take my money, right or wrong. Absolutely. Right or wrong? The Yankees, they don't tell fans that they need to have a facial policy in order to go into Yankee Stadium. I don't need a facial policy for you to take my money, but for the players, you need a facial policy for. Again, I don't think players having a beard is automatically going to make them better baseball players. I think there's more into that. There's more of their personality. I think it's how can I say it? More of an organization. No, it's an organization issue that's going on, especially when you look at the hitting. JJ, yes, I'm going to start the open panel, JJ. JJ, don't make me kick you in your back, all right? Shout out my guy, JJ, who's in the building. The young guy can't wait to get up here. But when you look at it, it's just a microcosm of just bad moves over bad moves over bad moves. And I don't think a facial policy being taken away is going to mitigate or fix the issues that have been caused by Brian Cashman. Let's be fair. The roster construction has been piss poor. You did a great job getting Juan Soto to the Bronx, right? I know I joke around with TC and Brian Cashman retrust. Well, guess what? Brian Cashman, I barely trust you right now. So you need to go out there and you need to earn my trust back. You need to earn the fan base and their trust back as well. You got 6 days, not even 6 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
5 days.
You got about 6 days, 5 to 6 days, 5 days to fix this mess. You don't have a whole month to fix this mess. You got 5 days to fix this mess, and you need to get on the phone and you need to start calling people up. I forgot who put it in the chat, but somebody put it in the chat earlier. I think it was Sinclair that put it in the chat, but they brought up the whole Verlander and Scherzer situation, right? If Verlander and Scherzer was on the Yankees last year, struggling the way that they were struggling, do you guys, anybody think Brian Cashman would do what David Stern did and what the New York Mets did? Anyone?
HAL wouldn't do it. HAL wouldn't do it.
100% no.
Right? But they use what's their best asset. And what is Steve Cohen's best asset? His wallet. And what did he do? We made a mistake with Verlander and Scherzer, and they cut bait with them, and they shipped them off, and they ate their money, and they got prospects back. I'm not saying we could get anything back from DJ LeMahieu, but what we could get back is DJ LeMahieu not in this lineup. Is DJ LeMahieu not committing errors at third base like he did on Tuesday night? We've seen so many errors from DJ LeMahieu over the past couple of weeks. His defensive plays have been horrible. He is not an everyday third baseman. He is not an everyday first baseman. At best, he is a backup player at this point. Look at his batting average. It's below 200. It's July 25th. How much longer do we have to wait to see if DJ LeMahieu can catch fire and turn it back around? I think the jury's out. It's done.
The worst part is, according to Boone, he deserves to be given the leash. What do you deserve? You're playing bad. You're going to tell me Oswaldo Cabrera don't deserve it too, Boone? You're going to tell me there's other players in the minors that don't deserve it? You're going to tell me Jack Neely doesn't deserve it? I mean, what does he deserve? Mm-hmm. What does he deserve? He deserves his money. He got a contract. That's all he deserves. That's all he deserves. Because at the end of the day, it's about the play on the field. He doesn't deserve an extended time. You've seen what you need to see out of DJ. That's all he deserves is a spot on the bench, and lucky that he has a spot there. Otherwise, DFA, go enjoy yourself a la Aaron Hicks.
Mm-hmm. And you see what you just said about what does he deserve? And I think Yankee fans, right, hear what I'm saying and let this sink into your head. That type of what Damien just said, have that same energy for the entire organization, right? Because we can't just say on one hand, right, that, oh, we are the New York Yankees, 27 championships. Look at all of our history. Look at all this, that, and the third. But then on the flip side, we'd be like, what has DJ LeMahieu done for us lately? What has Gleyber Torres done for us lately? What have the New York Yankees done for us lately? Huh? What have we gotten as a fan base lately from the New York Yankees? We've gotten 2 seasons, 3 seasons back to back where you feel Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole are being wasted, and now throw Juan Soto into that conversation. Juan Soto having probably the second best season of his career or third best season of his career. It's being wasted in the Bronx because Brian Cashman and his inability to properly construct the roster is sticking out right now, and it's sticking out like a sore thumb. There should be no reason JD Davis is protecting Aaron Judge. I don't care how many injuries you have. There should be no reason why JD Davis is behind Aaron Judge in the batting lineup. God bless Jahmai Jones. He has more athletic ability in his pinky than I do in my entire body. But there's no reason that that man should be leading off against the New York Mets as a DH. I'm sorry. Like I said, that man could run laps around me, right? Yeah. But he does not deserve leading off in that spot. And I get it. We're dealing with injuries. You're going to tell me that for the leadoff spot, Gleyber Torres would be a better option over Jahmai Jones?
For that point, you could have put Volpe back.
You could have put Volpe to lead off and have Gleyber Torres be your cleanup hitter. You gonna tell me that Gleyber Torres is not a better option in the cleanup spot over JD Davis? As much as I rip Gleyber Torres, as much as I beat down Gleyber Torres, you're really gonna look me in the face and say JD Davis is a better option as a cleanup hitter over Gleyber Torres? And what did Gleyber Torres do in both games? He hit a home run.
Yeah. Hit a home run to lead off.
I don't understand why they don't call up somebody and give them a shot over JD Davis and whoever else they're running out there every day. This is beyond ridiculous. They called up Bibas and they didn't even give him a chance. They didn't even play him. Are we going crazy?
Which I knew they were going to do.
What are we doing? What are we doing? I have no words. You're telling me that Augustine Ramirez wouldn't be a better DH than Jahmai Jones? Even just to try. Just to freaking see what the kid can do.
I hate to say it, but
now I know what Met fans feel like. My guy Anthony Rivera, and I'm gonna throw it over to Damien, but Anthony Rivera said, the way Grace says JD Davis, I've been saying for like 3 years. Absolutely. Now we know how Met fans feel about JD Davis. Cheesy Soul Case he's a Met fan, and he's like a 5-star show today. Shout out to you, Cheesy.
I'm sure, Cheesy. I'm sure.
Go ahead, Dave. My fault, brother. Go ahead.
I mean, listen, you mean to tell me JD Davis is over there over them Peraza? I mean,
yeah.
It blows my mind. And you know, the Yankees and Brian Cashman, when they make these moves, they refuse to admit they're wrong. So instead of admitting their wrongs, cutting bait and saying, yo, listen, we messed up. We should have never picked up JD Davis. And I got different names for JD, but this is a PG show. So I'm gonna just keep it at that. But they refuse to admit their wrongs, and they just have to start admitting their wrongs. Brian Cashman came out in that offseason. I think we're pretty effing good. And it followed, obviously, by having a decent offseason. Wasn't an A to me, but it was a decent offseason. Anytime you get Juan Soto, it's a decent offseason. But you didn't prepare for anything else. You didn't build the bench properly, which you didn't build the bench properly last season. So therefore, you came into the season again, not learning from the failure of the 23 season, and you came in with a terrible bench. You had Jahmai Jones coming into this season, 24 season, as making the team. Meanwhile, you have other players who deserved it. And you can't tell me, listen, right now, the Yankees should DFA JD Davis. There's a kid on the market right now by the name of Ty France. Came from Seattle. Ty France waived him. The Seattle Mariners waived Ty France. Why is Ty France not a better option than JD Davis? It makes no sense to me. So there are moves to be made. People are saying, well, no, there's no moves to be made. We have to wait till the trade deadline. Things and that. No, there are moves to be made. They just have to go make them. But instead of making the moves and saying, listen, I was wrong, we should have had no business bringing in JD Davis. We're going to swap him out, bring in Ty France, who's open just for the giving. All you got to do is grab him. Seattle's going to pay for his salary. And yet, he's sitting there without a job. It makes no sense to me, and it really doesn't. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Ty France, he has more home runs than J.D. Davis. He has a higher on-base percentage than J.D. Davis. He has a higher slugging than J.D. Davis. He is a well better player than J.D. Davis. Everything that Ty France does is better than J.D. Davis.
And by the way, he's a first baseman. And he's a first baseman, which clearly is a need.
We're talking about poker.
Go ahead, Grace.
I was just gonna say, we're talking about poker fallacies and how Cashman doubles down when he should fold and shit. But can we please talk about being pot committed? Because that's what Brian Cashman made us when he went out and made this huge trade to get Juan Soto in the offseason. For what? For what? If you're not going to subsidize and help this team, and you're just gonna leave Juan Soto out there to rot, then the last offseason was a joke. Because you traded away all of our pitching for nothing. So it is called being pot committed. You have pot committed us, Brian Cashman, and it's a poker fallacy. But you better come through because you brought us Juan Soto for this. Mm-hmm. You better fix it. You better fix it quick, or else it was all for nothing, and you will look like an idiot.
This is the most embarrassed that I've been as a Yankee fan. More embarrassed than getting swept by the Red Sox in 2004. Sorry to say it. If you guys don't feel me, cool, copy. You guys can have your own opinion. But I feel more embarrassed now as an adult, probably because I'm more of an adult now than I was back then. I was a 10th grade in high school. But I feel more embarrassed now the way that we've been outplayed and just classed by the New York Mets this season. Old Sarge just put it in the chat. Before I get to Old Sarge, matter of fact, there's some other chats I want to get to. My guy Anthony Medina says, same here, Hector. Same here. Man, Mano, my guy. Mikey Perez is in the building. D said that they agree as well. Salute to you, D. Anthony Garcia is in the building. Shout out to my guy Anthony Garcia. Ra says, everybody forgets when Soto came from the Padres, they have superstars. That doesn't win you championships. That's a great fact. You got to have roster construction. CT Card says Michael King is the one guy I wish we had. I hadn't added to that trade for Soto. We could really use King this year. No, definitely is. Shout out to Christopher Cancel that's in the building also. Austin Cruz is in the building. And now Old Sarge, my guy Old Sarge says, for what it's worth, George would have long since had someone's ass in a briefcase. I believe that even HAL would put a head on a pike and make some changes. The brand has to mean something to him. Absolutely, Sarge. And I've been like, last night I was trying to figure out how can I get over this debacle that is the New York Yankees. So I've been like trying to make funny videos to make me laugh. So I got one from George Steinbrenner. So I got a message from George Steinbrenner fans. Here we go.
Great work, Rob. Great work. See if you can read this. You're fired. And in case your ears are fucked, get the fuck out.
And I think every Yankee fan would say that is what George Steinbrenner would do if the New York Yankees had the worst record since the months of June and he was alive. God bless the boss. I hate doing that. What if George was alive? George wouldn't stand for this. George wouldn't stand for that. But I had to put it out there because I think George would flip a couple of tables.
The tables would have been flipped.
Let me shout out.
That was much more PG than what it really would have been.
Definitely. Shout out to Desiree Conrad in the building. Appreciate
What's
you,
up,
Anthony Garcia. My man Sam Granderson is in the building. Sam, I hope all is well, my guy. I hope you're doing good in school, brother. And again, whenever you want to come up to talk baseball, Sam, you're more than welcome to talk baseball, my guy. I appreciate you for being in the chat. But with that being said, I'm going to put the link for the open panel in the building. And yes, JJ, you could come up here, JJ, and talk your Mets as a Met fan, JJ. JJ, just so everybody know, JJ said after the last Subway series, I'm going to be calm. I'm going to wait until the other one to see what happens. And now that the other one happened and they took these two games at Yankee Stadium, I want to see what JJ is going to say. But everybody is more than welcome to come up to the open panel. But always just remember, be respectful to one another. Be respectful to the terms and services that YouTube and X lay out. We still want to be able to do our shows every day, so we got to follow the terms and services. And if somebody is in the middle of giving a take, allow them to finish, because the same time will be given to you. So we got a few folks backstage. I'm going to set this up real quick. Let me move this to the side so we could bring up everybody to join the convo. So Metsy, I got Mets 2128 backstage. My guy Mets, I'm gonna bring him up. Let me get a thumbs up, brother. All right, my guy Mets. Metsy, how you doing, my guy?
Good. I mean, it's this season for both the Mets and Yankees has been so paradoxical when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
On one side, Yankees were good April to May, Mets were dog crap. Now June, July, the roles have reversed. I mean, I will agree with everything Grace said about the Soto deal. Brian Cashman, Hal Steinbrenner, you two knuckleheads made the ultimate Faustian bargain, throwing your eggs into one damn basket. Seriously, anyone with half a brain know that getting Soto does not, for what you gave him away, does not cancel out the negative effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Juan
Soto doesn't. If this is a shit,
hitting prospects, you gave away pitching prospects. You basically sold the farm for Soto.
Mm-hmm. And if this is a ship, right? Mets, if there's a hole in the bottom of your ship and your hole is leaking, Juan Soto it's not the cork that's going to fix that. We've had other holes on this team.
Fix the keel.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. I want to ask you though, as a Met fan, how confident are you with this offseason and your front office? Because everybody thought that this season was going to be a push. And I know I got my Yankee fans backstage. I'm going to get to you guys, but I'm be honest, you got to let the Met fans have their shine right now. So I got Mets up here. JJ, I'm going to bring him up as well. But for my Yankee folks that are backstage, I'll bring you guys up. I just got to give some space for my Met fans so they can talk their ish. They deserve to talk their ish. Go ahead, Metsy.
This year, it was more leaning around on a 1 to 10 scale, it was around a 5, mostly because I've been keeping tabs on the team's records over the decades, and this team has never done all that well, at least on paper, in years that have ended on a 1, a 4, or a 7 when it comes to getting to the postseason. And I based my assumption on that, but it looks like they've exceeded my expectations this year.
Yeah. I think they exceeded everybody's expectations at this point.
I mean, sure, Carlos Mendoza's micromanaging out of the chute with the bullpen was giving me a headache, ready to put him in a noose. But regardless, he's toned it down, and the team is actually looking like they're having fun again.
Metsy, last question before I bring up JJ. If you guys had one player that you want your team to target, who's that one player at the trade deadline that you want for your squad?
Jesse Winker.
Okay. Solid.
Mostly because he's basically doing nothing in Washington.
Okay.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. That's a solid choice. Metsy, appreciate you like always. I'll see you later on tonight for the Mets Evening Brew. Go out there, keep talking your ish. Let's go, Yankees, Mets, Knicks. I appreciate you. Later, my guy. All right, JJ, I'm going to bring you up next, JJ. Oh, JJ has the broom ready to go.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready.
This is why I love JJ. JJ, my guy, how are you doing, brother?
I told you I was coming back with the same energy.
Yeah.
Did I not say that? So
you did. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna just cut it right to the chase. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 6 of the 9 starting Mets players have hit a home run off Garrett Cole this season.
You ain't wrong.
Because Lindor's done it, Alonso's done it, Vientos has done it twice, Bader's done it, Taylor's done it, and Jeff McNeil would have done it if Juan Soto didn't rob a home run. But I gotta be honest, your fan base is overreacting like crazy over this series. Like everyone's saying, fire Boone. Oh, I'm gonna off myself. Blah 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 blah. But then whenever I'm the one that starts talking, they're like, "Oh, what's your record against? What's your record? What's your record? What's our like?" A two-faced fan base is what I describe the Yankees. Completely two-faced. You've got, because I say this again, you've got the diehards and you've got the trolls. You guys obviously fall into the diehard category. 100%. And Grace, that spiel you had about JD Davis, you gave me 3 years of PTSD. So thank you for that.
Sorry.
I called him Steve from Minecraft, blockhead. I said so much about JD Davis.
Aw.
Steve from Minecraft is hilarious. Go ahead.
That was
Oh,
our
man.
thing. Our thing was Steve from Minecraft. I called him just Dunce Davis instead of just Dingers Davis. I called him just Dunce because he was a dunce for a long time. I promise you guys, I'm not trolling. I'm speaking the
No,
truth.
no, that's a
No,
fact.
I know. Yeah, my guy JJ, he's a very down the middle Met fan. He's gonna let you know how he feels about his team. He's just like Eddie. He don't hold nothing back. Go ahead, JJ.
So retired MCO 1199 says Cole's career ERA versus the Mets is a 6.99. That is correct. And it's amazing to me because there was only one game where this was actually a close series, and it was the first game at Yankee Stadium, and where we saw one of the biggest upsets in at-bat history. Jake Diekman freezing Aaron Judge. I never thought I'd ever see that in 2024. And what really surprised me was the fact that Carlos Mendoza actually learned his lesson. I was at the game, the first Subway Series game, where Aaron Judge hit the grand slam. It was 9-3. The Yankee fans were all up and going, and I'm like, for the love of God, please walk this dude. Do not pitch to Aaron Judge, for the love of Christ. And what does he do? A ball had a mission to get out, and it did. It was a grand slam, and that's the only reason that was a close game, because after that, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to worry about. The rest of this Yankee lineup is putrid. Once you get through Soto and Judge, you're good, which is why, even though I would have walked in a run, bring the dude in because you would have only lost 9-4. That is the problem with this Yankees lineup. Honest to God. And if you guys don't make some moves, then you're not a serious organization about trying to win. Because the way that I see it, there's a lot of guys out there. One of them that I think the Yankees should definitely go after is Ian Happ from the Chicago Cubs. You're definitely not getting Bellinger because the Dodgers want him, the Phillies want him. So I think you'd have to settle for, because again, I said this, you don't want to go after these like amazing players. You want to go after above average guys, because I said it before and I'll say it again. The difference between the Mets lineup and the Yankees lineup is the Yankee lineup is top loaded with 2 superstar players. The Met lineup has 7 to 9 potential hitters. Honestly, and we've got a few stars, like Lindor's already hit 2020. Shout out my boy Francisco Lindor for having a 2020 season in just about a month. That's incredible.
Bro, I was just saying before you came up here, take away that first month of the season, Francisco Lindor is running away with an MVP in the National League. He definitely should have been in the All-Star game. I think a lot of people were just hating on Lindor because of that first month of the season. JJ, before I let you go, because I got more people backstage, trade deadline, 5 days away, bro. One, I gotta have you up here for the trade deadline special that we're gonna do. That's one.
I'd love to.
When you go backstage, don't exit out. I'm gonna just remove you backstage. I'm gonna leave my phone number in the private chat so you can get it. That way we could make that happen, JJ. That's one. 2, trade deadline. What do you want your one player for your team to target? Who it is, and what are you willing to give up?
Well, the one guy that I want to get, unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen because this team has a literal hatred with the New York Mets. It's those annoying-ish fish down south, the team that didn't let us get home till 5 o'clock in the morning, the day of the Subway Series. Tanner Scott is the guy that I want, but unfortunately, we're going to have such an in-division Mets tax. It's almost unbelievable that we're not going to be able to get him. So if I had to change my opinion, which I'm going to, obviously Mason Miller is way over our heads. I think all the juggernauts are going to get him. Carlos Estevez wouldn't be bad, neither would David Robertson. Like, I don't care who they get, as long as they get multiple relievers that are competent. Like, hell, if we can get Colin Holderman back, that would be absolutely incredible. One of the worst trades ever. Holderman for Vogelback, 1-for-1. That trade is going to haunt us for the rest of our lives. But yeah, just get this bullpen back together because, by the way, breaking news, I'm being told my invisible earpiece, Kodai Senga, is back tomorrow night.
I talked about that, JJ. I talked about it already.
Big series coming up against the Braves. I'm going to be at game 1 tonight, and it's going to be Snell versus Severino. It's going to be a blast. But yeah, the Mets are back. So be ready.
Appreciate you like always, brother. You already know you have an open door policy over here, my guy. I look forward to doing the trade deadline special, right, bro?
Me too.
Let's make that happen. I'll put you backstage, get my number, right, bro? Later. All right, so we got more people backstage. Shout out to the chat as well. Got one of the best chats out there. 150 people are watching us collectively across all platforms. So if you're on X, if you're on Instagram, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. We got my guy Sam Grandison. I'm going to bring up Sam next. He has his camera off, which is fine. But Sam, I'm going to bring you up. Sam, my guy, how you doing, brother?
Yo, what's up, panel? How you guys doing? Chat, how's everybody going?
Doing good, Sam.
Good,
Heck,
Sam.
real quick before I cut Sam off or cut you up, I gotta go. Everybody in chat, Sam, thank you for coming on, brother. I'm listening, hear your knowledge, hear your gospel, and everybody have a great day out there. All right.
All right, blessings to you, bro.
All right, Sam, the floor is yours, brother. First and foremost, hope all is well. Hope the fam's doing good. Hope you're doing good in school, my guy. So, what's good, baby? How you feeling about the Subway Series?
Hey, we good, man, but I'm not gonna lie to you. As an honorary Yankee fan, as I stated, from 2010 to 2013, because I rep both sides, unfortunately, due to family ties. But just last night, it was just so disheartening to watch. I mean, I started watching the game, and the score was not that bad, but I mean, it got ugly so quick, and I'm just like, oh man, if I'm a Yankee fan right now, I'm cutting the game off. I mean, I think as much as we want to say that root for our teams, that they're good, this and that, like y'all are honestly in a better spot than my team because I'm a Braves fan. So we're really down bad. But at least you guys have won 60 games. I don't even see the Braves winning 80 games this year. So you have something to look towards. You got something to look towards. We got our whole team on the IL right now. Our whole team's on the IL.
Sam, may I interest you in Gleyber Torres?
We don't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You cannot interest.
What if I ask you nicely?
Listen. Y'all gotta sympathize with me. Y'all complaining about JD Davis. We got Adam Duvall starting every day. He hasn't cracked 200 all year. He hasn't even cracked 190. He hasn't even cracked 190. We got double negatives on the field. So I mean, at this point, I think if I'm a Yankees fan, you got a couple of guys that you don't like, but they can be replaceable. Obviously, they just got to make the moves for them.
They have to.
Because you've got to capitalize now. Soto's a wild card. I've been saying this. He's been a pain in my side since he was in NL East with the Nationals. But now that he's gone, that's a guy that you want to keep around. So the Yankees don't want to lose him, especially this team that they have now. You want to try to capitalize on this win now, mentality that the team should have. So I'm hoping you guys do make moves. And to be honest with you, as a neutral party, I'd rather them go to y'all than the Dodgers, who I can absolutely not stand. So if all the guys, wanted to get traded to the Yankees, that's fine by me. I'm perfectly fine by that. So who are some people that you guys, want the Yankees to make moves for?
Go ahead, Grace. I'll let you go, and then I'll chime in afterwards.
I want Tanner Scott. That's my number one that I want. I want Tanner Scott. Then I want an infielder. I'm open to several, okay? And then if we could make a deal for a starting pitcher, I'd be open to listening to that too. That's my three areas that I want. But if you're asking me specifically, what player specifically, Tanner Scott. That's who I want.
Okay. For me, I would say Tanner Scott, and Neely, the lefty that they have as well with the Marlins, and Jazz Chisholm. Those are the three players. I'm looking, if I'm going to trade with a team, Sam, I want multiple players back. So that's why Cincinnati's on my radar, because they have a lefty out of the bullpen. We could get the lefty and Jonathan India. When it comes to the Colorado Rockies, we could get Ryan McMahon, and the Rockies, they have a lefty out of their bullpen that we could get as well. So if I'm going to trade with a team, and I'm going to give up prospects, I don't want just one player coming back. I want the impact piece coming back and other players who can help fill out the rest of the roster. I don't want to just put all my eggs in one basket for like a Garrett Crochet, who's going to cost you a lot of top prospects, and you can only get one player back. Or if you go to Tyreek Skubal from the Tigers, you're going to have to put all your prospects, and Tyreek is the only player that you're getting back. So I want to get multiple players back if I'm going to have to give up that many prospects to the trade. If you get
that's a fair take from both of you guys, and I'll just chime in a little bit on this because I'm sure you guys got somebody after me. But as far as the Jazz and India thing go, if somebody just said, who is this? Guy LaRosa. He said it perfectly, and I've been watching because this is obviously like in my division. But you want India over Jazz. Jazz, he has the the charisma and stuff of that nature, but he just has not been playing well. And he's also been dealing with injuries left and right. So for me personally, I think India is the better move for you guys. I mean, I'm sure you can get it done. Like, you guys definitely have prospects. You're not in the spot to my team. That's what I'm saying. The Braves are pretty much, we're down bad because we got everybody hurt. We've given up all the prospects. So you guys at least still have prospects so you can get out of there and get some new guys in the team that'll actually help you guys win.
Yeah, and also when you look at the market, and I got just one last thing I want to ask you real quick, Sam. When you look at the market, right, there's really only 5 teams that are out of it, Sam. So there's a lot of teams, especially when you add those extra wild card. There's a lot of teams that are in the hunt for that wild card spot, that last wild card spot. So it's a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market where you can get a lot of pieces for less prospects. No, if you have pieces that teams want, you're gonna want the top back in return when it comes to prospect capital. Sam, last question I want to ask you before you go, because you were telling folks about like family ties and stuff. As somebody whose family was a part of the Subway Series, playing for both the Mets and Yankees, as a family member outside looking at, because some of us fans, we don't understand that little bit that but from the family aspect, how big of a deal is the Subway Series? If you could just give us just a little look into it that some of us may not get.
Yeah, so it's a real big deal, obviously. Like, this is for the battle of the state, if we're being honest here. So I always, like, when I had pretty much, because I always tell my dad growing up, I'm like, okay, I just want to see him play. So I never went, oh, I'm rooting Yankees, I'm rooting Mets. Like, obviously I wanted to see him win, but for me it was just seeing the two teams play was something that was inspiring for me. And to be honest with you, I've always said I'll root for whatever team he played for. But in the back of my mind, I was a Braves fan, so I wanted to see the Mets lose in the back of my head every single time because they're in the division. But I mean, it's one of the more iconic series that you've ever seen as far as in the major league sports of baseball. So for me, it's definitely something that I think is very important to the sport. And as my professor this past semester, I'll say this last thing before I dip. So Bud Selig was one of my professors this past semester, former commissioner for the league. So he gave us a lot of knowledge on, like, how the league was shaped and things of that nature. So, I mean, he knows how important that series is to the game of baseball. And I think that, hopefully the Yankees can change the narrative, moving forward, because I cannot stand to see the Mets win. I don't know. Like, I know you said, take away the ties and, but honestly, I cannot stand the Mets. So, JJ, if you're here, I'm sorry. I would talk trash about today about the upcoming series, but we have absolutely nobody hitting the ball outside of Adam Duvall and the scrubs. So, like, I don't even feel confident to even talk my trash like I usually would.
It's actually worse because we were on national television,
Yes.
Subway Series. It has Spotlight, and we're on national TV. We're on ESPN. Everybody's watching across the country, and we had the lineup that we had, and we played the way that we played. It's just that much more hurtful. And at the end of the day, the Red Sox lost yesterday. The Orioles lost yesterday. So we didn't lose any ground in the AL East, but it felt so much worse. It was only one game, but it felt so much worse, the Subway Series.
It's defeating, it just sucks the air out of the room. Sam, I'm gonna let you go, brother. Appreciate you for coming up. Sam, question: are you finished with school? You graduated? Because I see your profile pic.
No, I need to change that. I need to change that because that's my undergrad picture. I don't even look like that anymore. I'm graduating in May 2025, so I'm at Marquette Law School. So I graduate from there next year. May 2025, and I can start my life. But yeah, I'm only 24 years old. That's why I tell people I'm not that old, but I'm just trying to get through life as everybody else trying to be great out here.
Sam, you carry yourself very well. We've known each other, I want to say, dating back to 2020. So I appreciate you for all these years. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing. You got a bright future ahead of you, young man. Congratulations on your future success, brother.
All right, salute to you, Hector, and nice meeting you, Grace. Y'all have a blessed day.
Nice to meet you.
Later. That's my guy, Sam Granderson. We go back to talking Knicks basketball on the Uncle Ron Man show. Shout out to Uncle Ron. He was a good figure in the Knicks community. He had to shut down his channel because his YouTube career was getting crossing paths with his ministry, right? Ron is a minister, and it was conflicting with his ministry, so he had to take a step back. And you gotta commend people when they do that. Ron, he started his YouTube channel, and I think less than a year, he was able to get to 6,000, 7,000 subscribers. And he literally shut it all down just because his ministry was more important. So shout out to Uncle Ron, man. We're going to keep the line going. We got Nosebleed back. Jonathan, I'm gonna bring up Jonathan because I know Jonathan has to leave. So I'm going to let Jonathan say his piece real quick. Jonathan, You going to the Hamptons? You got to leave. You got the bus wait. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm not
Look at
in-
the
I'm
shades.
not
Look,
in
you
the
see, he put the shades on after I said that. Go ahead, Jonathan. Go ahead.
No, I'm not in the Hamptons. I'm out of the
Go
city,
ahead.
though, not in the Hamptons.
Go ahead. I got
Well,
Jonathan. I'm gonna
real
bring up
quick,
Nosebleed,
yeah.
Double A, and then Chris. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Real quick, I think the Yankees should be buyers and sellers if they can. They need to do what they can to at least entice Juan Soto to re-sign. I
It's
think they're
important.
favored, but this year feels ever since May feels like last year. It feels like they need to make some structural changes, and not just the roster, but the decision making.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Boone should be the manager after this year, and I'm not sure Cashman should be the GM if they don't make the playoffs. Especially, then they can't go with this type of lineup. It's unacceptable to always play Davis and always play these other players. I know they have a lot of injuries to their backups and the starters and their backups, but this is unacceptable. They need to make trades. They need to stop prospect hugging or bring up the prospect they think they're going to do great in the minor leagues and see what they can do in the major leagues. This was supposed to be a win now season, and they're playing like they don't give a shit. Well,
Say it, Jonathan.
Well, I just did. Even in the I don't know how you're all talking Texas, but this is New York.
Oh man, Jonathan, appreciate you like always, brother. Jonathan is speaking the gospel. Appreciate you, bro. Hopefully Jason Dominguez is up in 2 weeks. So look at the shades. My guy Jonathan, the fly guy. That's my guy Jonathan. Love that guy. So I got Nosebleed and Double A, and then Chris, I'm gonna bring up Nosebleed. Let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to go, Theo. My Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Nosebleed, go ahead.
Where do I start? First of all, Grace, I want to apologize. I tried to grab the red shirt, but I had soap in my eye because I had to wash the stink off from last night. So sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Next time, red shirt.
Red shirt next time. Red shirt.
Now, even though I don't believe Dominguez is the answer, he's still better than Verdugo out in left field.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
we getting down to that. We getting down to that, Nosebleed.
I'm sorry that it's come to this. I really, really am. Like he has disappointed me on a level, that is really sad because I didn't want to see this at all. I'm so heartbroken over his demise. But it is serious and we can't ignore it anymore and we have to do something about it. I think the answer is to bring up Jason Dominguez as soon as humanly possible. I don't care,
His struggles have gotten so bad. He got me agreeing with Red Sox fans on Twitter, right? I had a few weeks ago, I was running a Twitter space and a Red Sox fan came up there telling me how much he hates Alex Verdugo. And this is when Verdugo was hitting like 270. I was like, what are you talking about? I love Alex Verdugo. And ever since then, his batting average dropped by 50 points. He's hitting 229 and he's become a shell of himself. Listen, shout out to Alex Verdugo. Right, I know he's probably a phenomenal teammate. He's probably a phenomenal human being as well. But when you look at the production that is on the field, the production on the field is subpar. It's below average. He is a below average major league player at the moment. So yeah, the first 2 months of the season were awesome. Right, him and his interaction with Marcus Stroman wearing the do-rag as well. The dogs on the field, that was cute. That was very nice. It was very awesome. It was very cute. It was a very cute moment to reminisce on. But as of July 25th, Alex Verdugo has been one of the worst left fielders that the Yankees have had ever since 2020. Grace, you went off of the list. He's worse than Joey Gallo. He's worse than Aaron Hicks. He's worse than the retiring Brett Gardner. He's worse than Aaron Hicks. That alone right there spells how bad he is doing. I got Double A backstage looking lost when I brought up Aaron Hicks's name. Shout out to Double A. I'll bring him up in a second.
Maybe he'll have a good series in Fenway. maybe, maybe I'm serious. Maybe he'll have a good series in Fenway this weekend. He's played well there, obviously, this year. And, even if he does have a good series in Fenway, I want Jason Dominguez up.
Jason Dominguez.
Exactly.
Yeah, anytime Grace brings up his name, I'ma just sing. All right, that one of us is gonna do it. When I bring up his name, Grace is gonna do it. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna ping pack. Nosebleed. But no, let's get your thoughts though on Garrett Cole, because you heard us talking about Cole earlier as well. I put this loss a lot on Cole, or more on Cole than I do of the offense. He wet the bed tremendously. What's your thoughts on that, real quick? The Nosebleed. Before
we needed him to be the Garrett Cole from the game before, and he wet the bed. We needed him to have 1-0, no runs against the Mets to shut everybody up, to get us back on track, and he wet the bed.
That's my daddy. I don't know what happened to Daddy Cole last night. I was perplexed. I really was. I was perplexed. I didn't know what was going on. They were sitting on the cutter, and then they were sitting on the high fastball. They were driving him out of the park. I mean, all their hitters 1-9 were on top of him. It was crazy, and I couldn't really pinpoint what the problem was. It was just a bad outing, like, all around.
Yeah. Nosebleed, before I let you go, just because we got to get to the other people, we got a hard stop at 12:40. Trade deadline 5 days away. How much confidence do you have in the man that we call Brian Cashman?
I believe he'll get it done, but he needs to get it done faster than the deadline.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement with you, Theo. Nosebleed, appreciate you like always. Sorry about that. Open door policy, you already know. Hopefully the Yankees can turn things around. Just be on the lookout for the next episode, and maybe before Tuesday. So I'll let you know. Nosebleed, later, brother. Appreciate you. So we got Double A backstage, and Chris, Double A, let me know you're ready to go. Double A's doing pull-ups and push-ups over there. Double A ready to go. Double A is trying to be the bat that we need off the bench for the New York Yankees. Double A, háblalo, gente. Talk to the people.
Hector, that's hard to allow these loudmouth, delusional Met fans to come on here and spout this stuff. Yeah, how many people have hit home runs off Garrett Cole? How many championships do you guys have? How many championships do we have? You guys are located in Queens for a reason. You guys are the queens. We are the kings. Oh, baby. Hey, we know what's going to happen. The Mets are going to shit the bed. Past Philadelphia, you're definitely not getting past Atlanta, and you're sure enough not getting past Dodgers. So you worry about your house. We were worried about our house. Don't tell us how to feel. And you thank Boone for that gift yesterday, huh?
Yeah.
I love Double A.
Double A, I'm not gonna lie. You está cocinando, Double A. Keep cooking, Double A. Keep cooking. I'm just sitting back and enjoying the show.
They ain't for that. You know what I mean? You got a gift wrap, 2 gift wrap games from Mr. Boone. Batting Davis cleanup. We got a $260-some million payroll. We got Davis batting cleanup.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been live streaming with this chair for like the past 2 years, and this is the first time I ever used the pillow on the live stream. It's pretty comfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
Just sit back and enjoy Double A's.
Yeah, that's all. Look, it's
giving
just
them
easy.
the business.
I'm pissed off, bro. Obviously.
I know. No, Double A, I'm in agreement with you, right? Listen, I'm with you. I'm pissed off, just like every other Yankee fan that's in the chat, just like Grace is as well, just like every other Yankee fan that came onto the open panel. But when you look at recency, right? Yes, the Yankees have 27 championships. I get that, but I don't want to hear that, because that's the excuse that Brian Cashman and HAL Steinbrenner is going to have. And I'm not saying it from you. I don't want you to think I'm coming at you with it whatsoever. I'll never in my life. But I don't want to hear from the front office that look at our legacy, look at our champ. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I want to look at over the past 5 years. And over the past 5 years, we have been hit or we have been missed. More misses than hits, if any hits at all. We've been embarrassed in the postseason. We got embarrassed by the Red Sox when we were the wild card team. We've been embarrassed by the Houston Astros. If we didn't have Harrison Bader a couple of seasons ago, we would have got embarrassed by the Cleveland Guardians as well. In the season, Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs. So yes, 27 championships is beautiful. I'm always ride hard for my team, but I don't want to hear about the championships of yesteryear. Yesteryear was yesteryear for a reason. I want to hear about what we're going to do now. And in the now, the New York Yankees have had the worst record since the start of June. Since June 12th, we're tied with the White Sox. And that's not a team that George Steinbrenner would be happy to call his team. That's not a team that I can say as a Yankee fan right now, this is probably one of the worst stretches that I've seen as a Yankee fan. Yes, we missed the postseason last year, but even last year, we weren't as bad as we are right now. At least last year when we started struggling, we were playing 500 baseball. We are playing well below 500 baseball right now. Grace, what's your thoughts on that?
Is that true? I
Yes.
didn't think about it like that. I hate that.
Yes.
I wish you never said that, Hector.
I'm sorry, Gracie, but I had to.
And I'm a factor. I'm 100%. You're 100%. But, you know, it's up to us Yankee fans. Us Yankee fans can go there. The Mets fans can't go there. And that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? We can criticize our team. They can't. Do something first. And talk.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I understand. Yeah, we in there now because we're Knicks fans. So we're feeling the same pain as Yankee fans, right? So what I'm saying is, bro, look, we're the Yankees, bro. You got to do something. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's just unbelievable how you're going to do the same. You're going to make the same mistakes and expect a different outcome. It's just, But I'm thankful and grateful for you guys as always. Thank you for taking this. But dog, come on, we got to do something.
Double A. I've never wanted a basketball season to come as fast as I want this Knicks season to come. Like, this is the first time in my life that I'm literally in the month of July. I'm saying to myself, I want the Yankees season to end so I can watch Knicks basketball. This is the first time in my life, and obviously there's other things. The Knicks are doing good and the Yankees are doing bad, but this is the first time in my life that I've had that type of energy. I know there's a lot of fans in the chat that probably have the same energy like I have right at the moment.
And if you remember last year, right at the same time, Mr. HAL Steinbrenner was telling us we were overreacting.
Oh, yeah. Why are the fans upset? You are absolutely right, Double A. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and find that clip. Double A, I love you so much. Appreciate you, Unc. Like always, you have a good one, Double A. So we got our friend Chris Cancel. Chris Cancel going to be the last person for the open panel. Then we're going to get ready to wrap things up. Chris, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. My guy Chris is ready to go. Chris, the floor is yours, brother. Welcome. Hope all is well.
Hector, ¿cómo está, compadre?
Estamos bien, pai. Estamos bien aquí, tranquilo. Just looking for un cerveza, to get over this pain.
I couldn't help but listening to what Double A said about us Mets fans.
Go ahead.
Allow me to counterattack.
Go ahead, because when he said it, I saw your eyes perk up backstage. Go ahead.
First of all, we did beat the Dodgers earlier this season. Second, we did beat the Braves this season. And now we destroyed y'all. So if I were you, Double A, and if you're watching, don't underestimate the underdog. Because sooner or later, a new day dawns and a new era will rise. So I suggest you take a chill pill and let the game and move on.
I didn't know we was gonna get a bunch of shoot promos WWE style, one from Double A and one from my guy Chris Cancel.
Grace.
I'm reading. Please don't bother me right now.
Grace. Oh man, I just saw how feisty you were earlier in the show, and wow, I can't imagine how you felt when we destroyed y'all. I was like, Grace is probably going berserk.
bro. Our group chats. Just know our group chats were littered with F-bombs being dropped in our group chat. Just know that, okay? The group chat that I
Yeah,
have
y'all
with
think I'm
myself,
feisty on here?
Grace,
Y'all think
and
I'm feisty
Damien
here?
was
Please.
crazy.
I don't. You don't need to tell me. I can imagine.
Yeah,
But
Crystal, couple questions, because you
Sure.
heard me earlier talking about Lindor and stuff, and I honestly believe one, he was a snub for the All-Star game, should have been in the All-Star game. Remove that first month of the season, he's running away with the MVP in the National League. As a Met fan, because I know there's Met fans that are team Francisco Lindor, and you got Met fans that are team Pete Alonso. How do you view the rivalry in the fan base? For both sides, for Lindor or for Alonso? What's your thought process on that, Chris?
that's a tricky one because I'm a very universal person, and I treat every player on the team equals. I don't have no favorites. I don't have none of that. I just treat everyone the same. That's how I see it as a fan. Whoever's there, go out, do what you can do, but try to improve on your skills also. I can understand from both sides, but for me, it's all about chemistry. That's how you win games. And that's the difference between you guys and us. We have chemistry. That's why we've been winning a lot of games. You guys are, you know.
I just want to say, Double A just said that comment wasn't for like you specific Met fans. It was for JJ because JJ was talking his nonsense. Before
my bad. We cool.
Crystal, question though, because the trade deadline is coming up. What do you view your team? How do you want them to go all in? Who are some trade targets that you want your team to get? And then we'll get ready to let you go so we can start wrapping things up, brother.
Bullpen. That's all we need right now. Bullpen, because that's our most vulnerable spot. I'm sure you probably already know. I'm open to, and like I mentioned, because I was on another podcast earlier, and as I mentioned earlier, I think it's best if we get whoever's good, as long as they function right. I'm very open to anyone. I'm very universal. So whoever will help us out on the bullpen, I'm all in. So I don't really have a favorite person. Right.
Copy. Great. Any last questions for Chris before we let him go?
Chris, do you really think the Mets could go win the postseason this year? Be for real.
That remains to be determined, Grace. As you can see, I'm the type of person that I like to go game by game. I don't think about World Series. I don't think about playoffs. I don't think about wild cards. I go with the flow.
So you're just enjoying the ride. You're enjoying the ride right now.
Bingo.
Okay.
Basically, you're playing with house money, right? Well, if you lose, you're happy with it no matter what because you're still playing with house money, right, Chris?
Just letting it flow, just letting the season flow. I don't have that mentality right now as the World Series. I'm gonna wait until September. So.
Copy. All right. Well, hopefully I see you back up on the open panels more often. You got an open door policy. Anytime you want to come up, Chris, you're more than welcome to come up to talk baseball. It doesn't have to be Yankees. If you want to talk Mets, you're more than welcome to, right, Pa?
Gracias, compadre. Yeah.
All right. Mi hermano. All right. That's my guy, Chris Cancel. That was some good conversations. Not gonna lie. What was your thoughts, Gracie? I appreciate the Met fans that came up and had conversations. And for those folks in the chat, I'm a Yankee fan and I'm a Yankee content creator, but I'm also I consider myself in sports media, right? So I would be a fool if I were to start this show or have this show without allowing Met fans to talk their mess because they deserve to talk their mess. Vice versa, if the Yankees would have swept the Subway Series, I would have been telling all of you guys to go tonight to the Mets Evening Brew and going harass those guys and talk how you feel about your team. Still do that. Still go and troll them in the chat. Appreciate that. But Grace, final thoughts.
Great show. Great conversation. The Mets, what can we can't say anything. We didn't even win one single game against them this year. I understand that our franchise, I want to say, is more successful than their franchise overall. That's a fact. However, this year, we didn't put our money where our mouth is and we can't talk, so unfortunately we lost. We got swept. We didn't even look like we were trying. I can't say we didn't try because I'm not on the team, but it didn't look like they were even trying there toward the end. Even Judge missed that ball in the outfield. What was that? It's just because the game was over. He knew it. We knew it. Everybody knew it. It was just awful. We have to turn the page. Cashman has to make moves. I know the Subway Series means more to us because it's New York and because it's our brothers and because it's, you know, the crosstown rivalry and all that stuff. And I know it means more to us. But at the end of the day, we have to turn the page. We have to go forward because the games are behind us. Like I said earlier, the Orioles lost last night. The Red Sox lost last night. Even though our game may have been more significant to us, it's just a number. At the end of the day, it's one game or two games, and we have to keep going. Cashman has to make moves. I am waiting. I am waiting for my phone to go off because we have to make moves. We have to get Giancarlo Stanton back. We have to call up the Martian and let's go. Let's do it. The players have to play. Aaron Boone can only do so much. The players have to play. And that's all I gotta say.
100%. Rah, sorry about this. I'm just getting into it right now. Rah with the $1.99 super sticker. Rah said, play George again. Rah, you want me to play George again? I will play George again because George is feeling like all of us Yankee fans do right now. But before I play George and before we close things out, I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys. I know all you guys have been sending your thoughts and prayers to me and my family. Just want to give you guys an update. It's not looking good for my pops. Right. So if you guys can just keep sending your prayers out there, but it's definitely not looking good for my pops. I most likely will have to take a trip to Florida in the next couple of weeks in order to say my final goodbyes. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys that have been messaging me, sending your thoughts and prayers, wishing for a speedy recovery, wishing for this, wishing for that. You know, I've had I want to say a tough relationship with my pops growing up, right? You know, my mom's single mother, pops was really in my life. And I feel open enough to share with you guys because I feel that, you know, yes, this is a YouTube community, but I look at you guys as family, right? And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that are in here. And when I tell you guys that if you guys ever need a space to be vulnerable, if you guys are going through something, reach out. Right? Let's have conversations if you need help. The same way that you guys showed up for me is the same way that I would show up for each and every one of you guys if you guys are going through anything. So yeah, we talk sports over here. Yeah, this is a YouTube show where we crack around and we throw jokes around or whatever like that. But from the human aspect of it, I appreciate each and every one of you guys because you guys have been amazing human beings reaching out and just sending your thoughts and prayers. So I love all of you guys. I love you, Grace, as well. I love Damien. I love my brother Celso Porto. I love my brother Phil Porto as well. The guys from the Mets Evening Brew, everybody here on this channel. Double A, my uncle in the chat as well. Uncle Foxy as well. Appreciate all the thoughts and prayers and love you guys have been sending us. But until next time, make sure you drink something. Drink some water. Say something positive about yourself, positive affirmation. And if you have any elders that are in your life, make sure you guys call them because you never know how long you have with them. Life is too short. And until next time, deuces, my good people.